What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Kinstretch class brought to you by Stretch Protect. My name is Coach Luke, and I'll be taking you through today's 25-minute upper body focused Kinstretch class. So today's class is really going to look at the upper body as a whole. I know we normally focus on, say, one joint or even one joint motion. Today's really just going to look at the whole upper body. So this would be a great class to do at the end of the day if you've been sitting at the desk, in a car, in a chair the whole day, right? We tend to get this kind of slumped over flex position. So today's really going to work on opening up that upper body, just getting nice and loose. So this could be, like I said, the end of the day. This could be the beginning of the day before you go to work. More of a preemptive kind of workout here. Or you can do it, pre or post workout, right? So it's about 25 minutes would be a great upper body warm up. If you're going to go transform the body, if you're going to climb, you can do really anything with the upper body physically. But it's also a great cool down. You can do post workout as well. Nothing too crazy in terms of intensity. So get right into the collapsed kneeling neck car. So I'm going to have my fists at the ground. If this position is uncomfortable for you, you can always sit on a block, you can sit in a chair, whatever works best for you. Fist down to the floor and lock in, squeeze those shoulders. Think arms squeeze to the body, chin goes to the chest, rotate chin to collarbone, ear goes over my shoulder, chin to the sky, rotate, ear goes over, make sure those fists stay on the floor, down, and through one more time. Neck moving here, nothing else moves. The fists on the floor tell us that our shoulders are not shrugging. Down, through, and we're going to reverse back the other way. We got 2 reps, chin to collarbone, ear over, rotate to the sky, ear over the shoulder, drop my chin, rotate through one more time. Chin to collarbone, ear over, chin to sky, right ear over right shoulder, chin to the chest, and rotate through. Okay, from there we're going to go to our cat-cow. So it's our linear spine motion here. So if you've done our class with us before, you know we do it not just flexion extension, but it's actually controlled segmental flexion and extension. So we're going to start neutral, and then we'll tuck the tailbone, round out that spine, get as much flexion as you can. So this is our cat position. I got my knees under my hips, hands under my shoulders. From there, I will just segmentally extend, so think one vertebrae at a time, just moving from the lumbar spine, it's about mid-back here, move from the mid-back, travel through upper back, chest, collarbones, down in my cow position, full extension. From there, tuck the tailbone, work all the way segmentally back into flexion. Breathe throughout here. Keep trying to tuck the tailbone. Keep trying to round out that spine. One more time. So we're starting flexion. Untuck the tailbone. Breathe as you extend. Then pull the shirt. Pull your spine away from your shirt. Chest, really work on extending through that upper back, the T-spine. Most people do not get enough of this, especially if you've been sitting all day. Take a breath. From there, one more time into flexion. Tailbone tucks. Work all the way. One segment, nothing else moves until it's its turn. Individual joint motion here. Tuck, 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 and relax. That was just 2 reps. But recommend, there's really no upper level for you to do those in a day because the more spine motion you get, the better. Most of us tend not to get enough. Even if you're physically active, you probably don't get enough direct spinal motion. Think about the way the spine works. The spine is fundamental joint motion. So like your shoulder, fundamental joint motion is internal external rotation. For the spine, it's flexion and extension. So the better you get at those cat-cows, the better you get at controlling individual segments of your spine, the better you'll be able to rotate. Because now you have that joint space, just like how internal rotation gives us better flexion extension of the spine gives me better rotation. So from there, we're going to go into our spine cars. So this is the spine rotation. So if you want to squeeze a block here, and squeeze the block here, whatever position is most comfortable for you. I'm going to kind of sit on the block where they kind of elevated there, lock in my body. That's just going to keep everything nice and tight. From there, I will take this block in front here, lower level of the block will be at my sternum. Hug that block. I'm going to flex over the top of the spine, stay tight there. From there, I will rotate. Lateral flexion, extension, get full extension from that spine. From extension position, I will rotate, laterally flex, rotate through the center. Got one more time that same way, so then rotate, lateral flexion, stand tall through that spine. So I'm going to stand extension real quick, make sure my shoulders are down, keep squeezing that block, try to get full extension. So think just like the cow position that we were in, lumbar extension, mid-back extension, thoracic extension, extend, rotate. This is a great one if you play golf. Lateral flexion, pull those elbows into my rib cage, to the center. Okay, we switch to the other way. So full flexion, rotate, lateral flexion, extend, get tall through that spine, full extension, rotation, lateral flexion, pull my elbows in, rotate to the center. Here we go, last one, shoulders down, block tight, rotate, flexion, feel that stretch on that opposite side, extend, lock in here, full extension, rotate, lateral flexion, pull in, full flexion again, and relax. Big breath. Okay, so those are another great one you can do. I like to couple them with my cat-cow because now we get the lumbar, the linear, lumbar, thoracic, full spine, flexion extension, and then we couple that with full rotation. So now we're getting all the motion in the spine. Like I said, most of us, I would say 99% of people do not get enough spinal motion in their daily life, so more of those you can throw in the morning, at your lunch break, end of the day, better. So you can stay in the same position if you're comfortable here. If you want to go propel kneeling, seated, standing, that doesn't matter. As long as you can lock in that core here, we're going to go arms out front. We're going to squeeze this block. So I'm going to squeeze in on that block so you may feel a good contraction on the pecs. Squeeze in on the block, get a good grip on that there. If you want to go here, you can do that as well. Elbows stay straight out from the shoulders, and we're going to work shoulder blades here. So I'm going to go first thing is protraction, so body stays still. Just reach the shoulder blades forward. And retraction, just pull the shoulder blades straight back, squeeze them together. Nothing else moves. Lumbar spine does not move. Chin does not move. Forward. Okay. Most people want to do, it's called lumbar extension with retraction. So if you think about like a push-up, people get here, right? So we want to get here, and I want to pull back and squeeze from there without extending through my lower back. That's why this is a good position for that, because it makes it a lot easier just to lock down, and then I can move through my shoulder blades. 2, we got 3 more here. Sit on that block, whatever feels comfortable. Here we go, lock in, protract, reach. Feel shoulder blades wrapping around the rib cage. And there, retract, shoulder blades pull back. Again, around the rib cage, squeeze together. Protraction. Retraction. One more. Protract, reach forward, retract, squeeze back. Check it out for a second. So now we're going to go full scapular cars. So the scapular car, where it's going to be protraction, elevation, retraction, and depression. We're going to hold that block, but we have the 4 corners, right? So protraction, retraction, elevation, depression. But we don't want to move in a blocky orientation. We want to really work on creating smooth sort of shoulder blades can move in all directions, so we don't only need to hit the 4 main points, but we need to hit all the points in between. We got 3 reps going each way. So we got core locks, everything's nice and tight. Protraction, elevation, so we shrug, stay shrugged, retract, and depress. That was the 4 motions. Now we're going to just go full circular motion here. Just think reach, shrug. As we shrug, keep pulling back. As I pull back, I'm going to start pulling it down. One more time. Forward, stay forward, come up, go up, straight back, and down, forward. Now retract, shrug, reach, down. 2 more. Retract, shrug, protract, pull down, retract, shrug, protract, and pull down. The shoulder blades, she's feeling pretty good by now. Now we're going to go into our shoulder cars. So we'll go from a tall kneeling position. So if you want, you can take block, just hug between the knees here. That'll just give you a little bit more tension to the lower body. So think squeeze the glutes, squeeze the legs in, stack the rib cage right over the pelvis. We don't want to be extended through here. So think lock in there. I'm going to go 2 shoulder cars. So I'm going to go left hand on my rib cage, and then stay tight. Right hand will rotate out. Across the body. Abduction, up and over, rotate that whole arm, not just the hand, but make full arm rotation here. I'll extend straight back, reach up and over, elbow stays locked out, palm now comes up and down. Let's go reverse one more time. Abduction. Rotate that full arm. Think bicep is rotating around. First, rotate over, across the body, and okay, it's going to switch. Ribs are down, core tight, brace, reach across, palm up, straight the eyebrow with the bicep. Over, make sure we're not shrugging, make sure we're not rotating the torso, make sure the head's not getting forward, make sure we're not extending through the lumbar spine. It doesn't seem like a lot to think about, but with practice, it will inevitably get better, but at the same time, that's why we're here, right? Kinstretch, getting better at you, right? Controlling yourself, controlling your body, not moving anything unintentionally. Last half rep here. Around, shoulder car, abduct, and down. Very good. Okay, so our next one we got is a elbow car. So we're just gonna go inside my elbows, right on my rib cage. Shoulders are just packed nice and tight, so I'm not pulling back here. I'm not letting them come forward. They're just centered in that shoulder capsule. Inside my elbows will stay on my rib cage the whole time. Ribs stay down. I'm going to curl up like a bicep curl. Turn my hands, try to turn my palms out away from me, so I'm not doing this. I'm turning out. From there, I will turn them over. Press down. Rotate at the bottom. Curl up. And down. So now I'm going to stay here, locked in. Palms are down. Up. Rotate. Down one more time, over, curl up, squeeze those biceps, rotate out, come down. So now we're just going to make fists here. Lock in the shoulders, lock in the elbows to the rib cage, forearms are up. I'm just going to rotate, it's called pronation of the shoulder, of the elbows. Forearms go down and back. So we're just going in to out. Good. Just like any of our other capsular cars we've done. When you hit your end, push it a little bit, push in that boundary. Try not to let anything else compensate for it. Try to get a little bit more out of it if you can. Rotate out, last one. Over, squeeze. Rotate. Shake it out. Okay, from there I'm going to go wrists. I'm going to double arm wrists together. So shoulders are tight. Elbows are right on my ribs. I'm going to palms towards each other, towards the midline. I'll extend those wrists, now my palms are facing you. As I go from here, work on keeping those forearms straight up and down. So you're going to want to do that, but want to make sure you're balancing a cell phone, balancing a cup of coffee. But here, as I find my end range of abduction technically, I'm going to come up, flex the wrist, try to keep my fingers straight, palms in line with the fingers. Come around one more time. Nothing else is moving except those wrists. Doing it right, you should get a good burn going here because we're pushing that end range. So now let's come back to center in the midline and reverse. Flex, over, out, extend, in, up, out, and extend, shake them out. So that's a great one if you spend a lot of time on the computer, right? Getting better elbow pronation is obviously important if we spend a lot of time here, or if you have a golfer's elbow, tennis elbow, the better your elbow can rotate, the less stress it's going to have to account for. And then the same thing goes for the wrist, right? If I have good functioning wrists, now I know that my elbow is not going to have to make up for what was going on downstream. So the more you can do the cars, the better. Those are just our main upper body cars. Like I said at the beginning of class, really just focus on getting the body opened up, get everything kind of moving well, feeling like we can now go perform if we're going to go train, or feel like we just kind of release some stress, got the body moving a little bit, pay attention to our joints at the end of the day, right? So there's really no best time to do it, just more cars, more fundamental joint motions, and that's really what our cars and our capsule cars allow us to do. So from there, on the note of capsule cars, we're going to go into shoulder capsule cars. So I got 90-degree bend here, lift down, I can stay in collapse kneeling, tall kneeling, standing, whatever you prefer. Make fists, we got 5 reps here. I'm just going to rotate down, move as far as I can, internal rotation, until my body wants to do that, right? I don't want to shrug, so that means my shoulder blades are going along for the ride. Core's engaged, rotate in, nothing else moves, rotate back, that's external rotation, so squeeze back. You got 5 reps each way. In, internal rotation, push the boundary, squeeze at the end. External rotation, push the boundary, squeeze at the end, feel that back side of that shoulder working here, 2. Squeeze. 3. Squeeze. That. 4. Last 1. Rotate down, push it, push it, push it, push it. Rotate up, push, 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 push. And relax. Very good. So now we're going to go into our swimmer hovers. So if you've done swimmer hovers with us before, you know that they're, 1, pretty challenging, but 2, you can make them more or less challenging depending on your position. So standing swimmers, we have the most joint stacked under us. It's going to be a little bit easier, but it's going to be more important to make sure you keep the ribs down. We can go from tall kneeling, you can go from split stance, you can go from collapse kneeling. I will do it from prone. That's the variation we're going to go for today. If that's too challenging for you, feel like you can't do it without compensating, or it's just too hard, come up into a tall kneeling position. That'd be here. If you want to squeeze a block between your legs, you can. Or collapse kneeling. It just makes it a lot easier to keep everything stacked over itself. Make sure we're getting all that motion from the shoulders and shoulder blades. So we got 3 reps here. I'm going to walk you through it as we go. Take your time. Really focus on keeping everything nice and tight. Focusing all that motion from the shoulders and the shoulder blades. So I'm here. Legs are together. If you want to take a block, and squeeze the block between your legs. That will just allow you to create a little bit more tension from the lower body. You really want to try to drive ribs down, pelvic tilt. You're really going to want to do this. That's definitely a complication that I'm aware of for myself. So I want to really try to tuck, squeeze that block, keep those ribs down throughout. It's going to get significantly more challenging. But that's a good thing because that means you're not compensating in the lower back. Okay, so from here, face is down. If you want to elevate your face on the towel or anything like that, by all means. Hands behind the head. Take a breath in, elbows down, and elbows up, hands up, wide position, slam down, reach back, reach up, turn those palms over, pause in full extension. I will take my palms, backside of my hands, behind my back, and set down. Reset the tension. Elbows up, hands up, wide position, come up, up, up to my elevated full flexion wide position here. Hands come together, elbows keep reaching up to the sky, reach down that back, and set down. That's 1, we got 2 more there. Full body brace, take a breath in, elbows up, hands off, reach to the Y. Keep squeezing the ribs down, brace. And down. Hands come together behind the back, high up on the back. You can take them. Set down. Reset. Elbows. Hands. Reach. Swim up and over. Y position. Hands come together. Keep reach those elbows up. Set down. Woo, and relax. Go. One more rep. Here we go. Touch the tailbone. Ribs down. Elbows up. Hands up. Reach the Y. Swim it down. Palms turn over. Ribs stay down. Core stay tight. Bend those elbows. Head down. Last one. Reset the tension. Tuck the tailbone. Brace. Elbows. Hands. Reach. Palms up. Swim up and over. Bring those hands over. Y position. Bend. And sit down. Ooh, very good. So that was shoulder swimmers from the prone position if you did them laying down. That's called prone. You could make it even more challenging by being kind of in a collapsed quadruped or a child's pose position. Elevate your forehead onto a block, something like that. It works really well. That was a swimmer hover. That's a great one if you spend a lot of time in this position. That really allows us to open up, squeeze, get some strength on the back side of that shoulder. So let's finish with some more spines. Like I said, we don't get enough spine in our lives, right? Especially if we're, a lot of conventional training out there. It's a lot about spine stability or core stability, which is important. We definitely need that. But we also, the other side of core stability or core training is training it to be able to move and absorb force and disperse force. So when we get back to our cat-cow, we're just going to go 3 reps. Up, down, up, down, up, down. We'll call it a day. So like I said, the more motion you can get into your spine, the better. You really just want to focus on getting the maximum amount of individual segmental flexion extension. Okay, so we're in full flexion. Take a breath. And let's work through extension. Super slow. One vertebrae at a time. Try to put your brain, your focus into each segment. Deep breath. And tuck. All the way back to flexion. And straight back to twist. The beauty about these is you can alter the speed. So we're technically, these would be a little bit faster than we like to normally do. This is more cool down. We're just getting more reps from flexion extension. The best part is, the slower you go, the more you need to pay attention to what's actually going on, right? So you can literally do 1 rep per minute. Take your time with it and just work on fully connecting the body, brain, spine, everything you got. Okay, so last one, let's go back to flexion. Finish here. Tuck, 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 all the way. And relax. Very good. That is it for today's 25-minute upper body focused Kinstretch class. Like I said in the beginning of the class, really, this one was really focused on getting you moving. So end of the day or the morning, kind of start your day off. It's obviously a great option for you, but also it's a great opportunity to get more movement in. If you're doing this as a warm-up, you can go from here. Now you're warmed up, everything's ready to go. Heart rate's elevated, core temperature's raised up. Now you're ready to go do whatever you want to do. But also it's a great cool down if we're really focusing on relaxing, breathing into all these motions, and really just getting more motion at each individual upper body segment. So thank you for joining me in today's upper body focused Kinstretch class. I hope to see you at the next one.